Good afternoon. How's it going, everyone? Hope you've been doing well. Hope you're all set for the holidays. What is it, 3 days before Christmas at the time of me recording this video? Hope you got your stuff in order. If you're new here, hi, I'm Miles. I do music stuff. And in terms of the music-related stuff we are doing today, we are doing a second episode of sort of a news update in terms of music-related topics that have come up recently. The last video I did in this sort of format, no one saw it, and I don't think it was a personal jab from you to me. I think it's just the dreaded algorithm on YouTube. So with that said, before we go any further, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel be seen by more people, and yeah, it's free, so help me out, and maybe hit that bell while you're on there as well. So first topic of discussion is the recent news about Trump guitars. Now this isn't necessarily a partisan issue in itself, but I always find it interesting when someone who essentially has no standing in the music world offers some sort of product within that realm that they have no familiarity with, because there's the opportunity to do something unique and surprise people that are veterans of the music world, but in a lot of cases it ends up just being a cash grab. It ends up being some sort of way to make a profit off your name being slapped on a bunch of guitars. For example, we have the Hello Kitty guitars. Obviously, the character Hello Kitty has nothing to do with music for the most part, but if you can get your hands on a Hello Kitty Stratocaster, you have a nice item that you can resell for a decent amount of money. However, in the case of Trump guitars, I don't think that's what we're looking at. I think we're just looking at a scam. Just based on the other things that have been sold by this man, including sneakers, a Bible, steaks, water, whatever else that's turned out to be a scam. I feel like this is no exception to that pattern. But let's talk about it. From pictures posted online, we can conclude that the guitar, at least the electric, is of a Les Paul style body, but not the same construction. It's a Les Paul body, but with a bolt-on neck like a Strat. Not traditionally how a Les Paul is built, but that's what we allegedly have here. As far as specs to the guitar, one of the specs that are listed is that the guitar comes equipped with what are called Trump buckers. I know that companies like Schecter or Gibson or Ibanez that make their own pickups will give them like silly names sometimes, but like it's an in-house pickup, so we don't know anything about them. I don't know what they sound like. I can't find any details about them online. And arguably, it's a stupid name. But, I mean, if you look at it and you're honest with yourself, the word humbucker, although explaining what it does, is kind of a dumb name in itself. So, I digress. Additionally, on the fretboard of these guitars, they come with either the phrase, "Make America Great Again," as the inlay, or it simply says Donald J. Trump. And I think this is to be expected. It's almost like a signature guitar kind of thing where there's a custom inlay on the 12th fret or something, but this is across the entire fretboard. So to me, it's just like very gaudy. It reminds me of when Schecter was going through their sort of abalone renaissance, where the thought process seemed to have been, but what if we put abalone and binding on every part of the guitar? Let's put abalone on the tuners. Everything needs abalone. Also, if I had to bet money, these guitars are likely constructed in China. So I don't know why they would say "Make America Great" on them in that case when they're not being constructed in America. Initially, the website was claiming that the guitars were being constructed by a proud veteran company. No names listed, which is weird because if you're so proud, like, wouldn't you want people to know who you are? Like, there are other companies that have veterans involved in the production of their products. The company Lava that I get all my cables from, veterans are involved there. And, there's specific details attached to that claim, but there aren't any in this case. So it feels like it's just being presented to draw people in and be like, wow, what a cool American company. I wish I knew who they were. So when I initially saw the photos of these guitars, My first impression was either A, these are some off-brand guitars that they took and got a mass stock of and airbrushed images onto and then just stamped with Trump's name on it just to hawk it off to some unsuspecting customer. Or the pictures that I'm looking at are not of a real guitar and rather it's a photoshopped image of a guitar that they're hoping that they can one day put into production for customers that put down money for it. Because it seems like none of these are actually in existence yet. So with that said, if you decide you want to purchase one of these guitars, understand that there's a good chance that you'll never get it. And the photos have even changed since they were originally posted on the website. And part of that is because, you guessed it, they got hit with a cease and desist from Gibson for having a guitar that looks very obviously like a Les Paul, a Gibson Les Paul. So it was inevitable. I don't know what's going to happen from this point as far as the guitars are concerned, because Gibson is very much persistent when it comes to this sort of stuff. And I don't think they care who it is that they're putting a claim against, whether it be some schmo that's building 6 guitars a year or the future president of the United States. And again, this is coming from a place that's non-political, but if you ask me about buying one of these guitars, I would say don't do it. I know there's a couple other people on the internet that are doing videos about these guitars, have put money down for one of these guitars, and are waiting to get it. And if they get it, and they're pleasantly surprised by the product for what it is, we'll go from there. But as of this moment, I wouldn't. Because right now they're listed at like $1,500. And $1,500 for a guitar that I don't know even exists yet, I can't commit to that. Especially from a company that I don't know who it is, from a guy who has zero musical talent, potentially, I don't know, maybe he plays the kazoo. I don't know what he does, but I don't think he plays guitar. So, I don't know, man. And now for our second story, Finn Mckenty leaving YouTube. So when posts and videos first started popping up about all this stuff, I was curious to see what Finn was actually saying, that everyone was responding to, and then try to get a better idea of where his head's at that led him to making this choice as far as how to move forward in his career. And for the record, for those who don't know, I've been a fan of his channel since early on. You've probably seen videos of me in the past if you've been here before, and I've been wearing a shirt that says Punk Rock NBA on it because I was buying merch. I wanted to support what he was doing because I enjoyed his videos. And these are the early videos, back when he still had the opening intro with Hatebreed in it before it had to get changed. But yeah, after I watched the interview and just kind of saw how he was presenting on camera and everything else, my takeaway was that he's leaving the platform from a place of frustration and disenchantment, because the man looks tired. He looks tired, maybe even defeated, but I know personally for me, there's lots of instances where I know going into it what the outcome's going to be. And if you're in a position where no matter what you do, it feels like you're always being seen as the wrong guy, then you start to care less about filtering what it is that you're saying. You're just going to say and do what you want because everyone already views you as the bad guy. Additionally, if things are negative for long enough, it's going to take anyone's motivation to continue doing that thing. It's going to take all that motivation away. Even for me, there was a period of time where I was trying to make weekly videos on music theory. I had Theory Thursdays. And so obviously I was putting out a video every Thursday, and no one was seeing them. So it just got to a point for me where it was all right, what am I busting my ass for on this one singular thing that's interfering with other projects that I want to undertake and present here? Why would I do that if no one's actually seeing it? And for me, it's the same thing when it comes to live streaming. I've been streaming on TikTok for, 2 years or more. And it's been good up until recently where like now my live stream doesn't get sent out to anyone. So only a handful of people even know when I'm going live. Normally when you go on there, you get a notification if someone's going live, or you'll see their icon up top in your messages, giving you the option to click on it, or it's in your feed when you're swiping through videos. None of that is happening for me. So I'm not making any money anymore. It's consuming my time because I'm usually streaming for at least 3 hours. And yeah, I could be utilizing my time elsewhere and feeling more fulfilled doing other things. I'm likely going to be moving over to Twitch, by the way. But with all that said, why would anyone continue to put forth effort into anything if it doesn't bring them any sort of satisfaction? So that's kind of the impression that I initially got with this whole situation, just from first impression. The other thing, from what I've seen, is that Finn is not really like a social guy. I think he's a very analytical guy, which is why the marketing thing makes sense to me. But like with that said, most people that are great with stuff like that, whether it be just marketing or like stocks, things that are very technical and in the weeds, they're not like super social people. And there's a video from years ago of Ryan Bruce, Fluff, and Finn talking. And I remember watching it, and in the middle of them talking, Finn just like takes out his phone and starts like texting someone, like showing zero interest in being in this place in that moment. And I thought to myself, that's kind of a dick move. But at the same time, like, he might not even realize that he's being rude. I've spent many years working with individuals with special needs, and that goes for teaching music lessons, but also just outside work as well. And so like I've come to have a better understanding, additional consideration, if you will, for people that are acting in a way that's outside of the norm. Because in a lot of cases, they don't mean to, they don't realize they're doing it, and it's not coming from a place of malice. So that's just another consideration I have in mind when it comes to someone like Finn just being like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Because he seems like a kind of guy who goes into every situation with a plan, and once he's done everything he wanted to in terms of that plan, it's like, okay, that's enough. I don't need to do this anymore. Another factor in all this that I think plays a significant role is the fact that Finn and his wife just had a kid. And for anyone out there who doesn't have kids, once you have your first kid, it kind of changes your perspective on what you should be doing with your time and like how it should be spent. I know for me that after my son was born, I was first off in a panic because like there's a human life in my house that depends on me to keep them alive. And that was like a lot for me to process. I remember at the hospital, the doctors like handing him to me and then like shooing me out the room because his mom got a C-section. They were closing her up. And now I'm just standing in this room with this baby that's looking at me and I'm like, what do you want? But from there, my perspective on how I was spending my time, what my time was worth, that all changed. And so it's not impossible to think that maybe Finn went through a similar transformation. Now, in that interview, Finn had mentioned that he was going to be pushing more towards consultations on LinkedIn with individual clients. And, you know, it's not necessarily surprising because even in his videos for a little while, he was posting like, hey, I'm on LinkedIn, follow me over there, I'm doing stuff on LinkedIn. And me personally, I don't understand LinkedIn. It just seems like another Facebook where all my friends from high school are on there. Except now they have a lot of pictures of them standing confidently with their arms folded in front of a backdrop of their business logo for their real estate company or whatever it is. I don't really go on there. But with that said, if it's working for him, then go for it. You know, like I remember early on when I started streaming on TikTok, all of my friends were like, I don't know, seems like a waste of time. And at the time, I was making great money regularly. So, you know, if the wave it's suiting you, ride that wave. That's it. And like I said, Finn's a more analytical type of guy. So like what seems really boring and lame to us, he might find enjoyment in solving these puzzles and formulating these game plans for individuals to be successful. That might be something that brings him more like fulfillment overall. And truly, if your heart's not in whatever it is that you're doing, you shouldn't do it. That's all, like, because you're just gonna do a bad job at it because you don't care. And truthfully, there was a time where I just stopped watching his videos because it went from being these videos that I felt like had actual substance to them to being very formulaic and like talking about topics that I just wasn't interested in. And so like I'm not gonna force or demand that someone try to stay one way to suit me. Like if this is the path you want to go on, that's cool. I guess our paths crossed for a brief period of time and now we're separated again. And that's fine. You know, I have friends that are musicians and I don't listen to their music. We're still good friends. I don't expect everyone to listen to everything that I put out there. So, you know, I guess it's just the way things are. It even got to a point where it wasn't just Finn making these videos that I didn't like, but it was also his wife who would make these videos where the thumbnail and the title were like strategically put together to draw you in and watch it, and like then leave a rage comment being like, you're stupid, you're misrepresenting this topic. And I would just simply comment like, hey, I know what you're doing, I get it, but like you're not doing any service to this topic and you should stop. And they did. So there you go. Now, in addition to people just reporting on the fact that Finn is walking away from his YouTube channel, they're also talking about what he said about musicians and the fans of his channel as a whole. The term smooth-brained got thrown into the mix, and people really lost their marbles over what he had to say about them in this interview that he recently did. And here's what I personally think is behind all of that, because for me, I'm very much the type of person that would rather burn a bridge than sit and deal with someone nagging over an issue that either I don't feel I need to apologize for or that I've already apologized for. Like, if you're still mad, I'm about to make it a whole lot worse so then you never talk to me again. And in that case, I walk away the winner. And so what are the odds that maybe Finn is thinking about this in a way where it's like, well, if I tell everyone that I think they're stupid, that I've never had any interest in music at all, and it's all just been about money, and any of you that are pursuing music professionally or that are actual music fans, you're all stupid. Like, what are the odds that he's saying all that in hopes that it gets everyone to leave him alone? Like, there was definitely a period of time where Finn enjoyed what he was doing and had a passion for music. Like, he was even talking on his channel about music that he had composed himself. So, like, the idea that he never had a passion for it, I don't fully believe that. I think that it's more like, at this current moment, I don't have any more passion for music. I think that loss of passion stems from this idea of taking something that you love and monetizing it, where everything that we do as humans, there's some expectation that, like, if you're not making money off of it, that it's a waste of your time. So, like, even for me, and I learned from a young age, like, if I feel like something that I'm doing feels like work, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And it can happen when you're making stuff and putting it out online, and you're creating stuff, you're putting time into those creations, but you can anticipate the response from your audience, the number of views it's going to get, and if it's below that expected number, that feels like a huge loss. It doesn't even feel like a competitive game anymore. It just feels like you're battling a computer. You know, it gets tiring after a while. Even for me, I don't make that many videos like I used to that had a lot more detail and elaboration going on, because it's like, why would I spend a week doing all this stuff for one video that's going to get 300 views? And again, if you're the guy who online is seen as the old man with all bad takes about anything and everything he talks about, you're not going to feel any sort of motivation to want to continue to put your opinion out there. And you know, like, unless you're a complete narcissist, it's gonna weigh on you after a while, or you're at least gonna come to a place where you say, like, I could do something else. I have other things in my life that I could be doing right now instead of doing this. I know what results come from doing this thing, and I don't like the results, nor do I like spending the time that is required for this thing. Why don't I just go and direct my time to other aspects of my life? And everyone has been making these videos talking about the downfall of Finn Mckenty without even really realizing that they're doing the exact same thing that they're claiming that he was doing as a fraud. Like, you're making a video talking about Finn Mckenty making videos just for views, and you don't realize what it is that you're doing. And while in a way I'm doing the same thing as them, I'm willing to also consider the idea that perhaps he's just tapped out on this environment that he's been subjected to after putting out his opinions online and it not even being what he wants to make content about. Just trying to feed the ever-changing algorithm in order to stay afloat online. For me, it's not even enjoyable. I imagine he feels at least the same way. The other thing everyone's talking about as far as Finn is this whole business with his wife. I don't know anything about it, so it's an issue that I can't even really touch on. I just don't know. I don't know. However, it seems like there's a lot of people that are talking about it now, and apparently it's been a thing that's been known for a long time, but this is the first time I'm really hearing about it. And so it seems like if there's this many people that are passionate about it, you would think that it would be more prevalent in the discussion overall. Because I've seen everyone's videos about Ronnie Radke. I've seen all the videos about failed music festivals and beefs within bands, Machine Gun Kelly, whatever the hot topic of the moment is. And it just seems like everyone's kind of riding their own wave and being upset about one person doing the exact same thing that they're doing. And then even worse, like having these videos talking about how Finn Mckenty's a fraud, but they're also doing an ad read for NordVPN. And their video is just a snippet from their Twitch stream that they posted to YouTube to double their profits, hopefully. And I don't know, it just seems kind of silly. Like maybe instead of just spending your day streaming and cutting videos, you should take a moment to go and look in a mirror and really ask yourself what it is that you're doing, and is it any different than what Finn was doing? Woo, but I digress. So in the end, for me, when it comes to Finn Mckenty, I at surface level with this whole thing, if he was unhappy doing what he was doing, and now he doesn't want to do it anymore, more power to him. If he truly feels that way about the people that were watching his videos and that are in the music industry in any capacity, I think that's a bummer. But I also think that there's some truth to that as well, and maybe I'll talk about that more in another video. But that's a whole other discussion for another time. Like, if we look at YouTube today compared to when it first came out on the scene, initially it was a platform where you could go on, post videos, and be like, hey, look what I'm doing. Look at this place that I've gone to. Wow, check this out. What do you guys think? And so in a way, it served as social media in a bit of a different capacity than the other platforms of the day, like MySpace, Facebook. And now YouTube is essentially just TV. Like, you have literal videos from TV shows that are posted by TV networks on this platform. You have channels that are being dictated by sponsorships and endorsements, and there's ads constantly being fed to us that are watching, whether it be in the legal manner or in illegal manners. And as far as posting to YouTube, rather than just being able to post things that you're like happy and passionate about and wanting to share it with people around the world, now you have to basically compete with this algorithm that passes judgment on you without even knowing who you are, and decides whether or not what it is that you're doing or saying is worthy of being seen by other people. And you can make something that you think is great, and I'm sure everyone that has a YouTube channel out there has gone through this, where they've made a video they really like put their all into, and then it wasn't successful. Like, that's a bummer. Like, me personally, I'm not looking for like MrBeast numbers for my videos. That would be nice. Christmas coming up and all. But like, I know that's not the case, and it's okay. And so for me, when it comes to making videos, I do it when I have time, when I feel the urge to do it. This news update format that I've been doing, it's kind of been my way of trying to get myself back into a consistent productivity schedule as far as making videos. Because for a long time, I was very discouraged when it came to the idea of making videos. Because it just wasn't doing anything for me. Not unless I like fed into what everyone else is doing. Like, I tripped and fell into a beef with Ronnie Radke. I didn't mean to, but all of a sudden I had all this new traffic to my channel. And it wasn't just people that were mad on Ronnie's behalf because he heard something that I didn't actually say. But like they would come through and say like, oh, initially I thought you were a jerk. And then it turns out that you're not. You also got cool videos. I'm subbing. And like, that's cool. That's a connection that was made because that person saw my video and decided that I'm worthy of seeing more stuff from. And if you're lucky, within the time that you're making stuff on the internet, you meet a large amount of people like that. And then you make those connections and you maintain them. But a lot of times you have all these other outstanding factors, whether it be the algorithm not showing your video to other people or just getting comments from jerks online. Back when my hair was long, there's a whole collection of comments that I've never actually interacted with because they're like, oh shit, Snoop Dogg's playing guitar now. Something like that. Some reference to a black guy of some sort doing something on my channel that involves guitar that otherwise wouldn't. And I think you can put the pieces together there. But for all that being said, I hope that Finn's happy. I hope that his family is healthy and happy. And that's all I got for him. He didn't do anything to me personally, so I hope that he's good. And with all of that said, that's all I got for you guys for today. I hope you found this video to be interesting and informative. And if you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see more, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It's free. It helps me out with the dreaded algorithm. And yeah, did I mention it's free? Also, hit that bell. And if you like what I'm doing here and you want to support further than just liking and subscribing, I'll leave a link down in the description to my Patreon page where you can check out all the perks that are over there attached to your support. And you will be helping making these videos possible like all of my other current patrons. So that's all I got for now. I wish you all a happy holiday. I hope everyone stays safe, stay warm. And hope you get lots of cool stuff. I hope that the people in your life that you care about, you got cool stuff for them. They get you cool stuff. Like if you're looking to get a new Neural DSP plugin or something like that, I hope they just like, they get it for you and somehow gift it to you. And that would be cool. Maybe you just want a bag of guitar picks. I hope you get your bag of guitar picks. Yeah, I hope you get what you want. I hope everyone gets what they want. Okay, I'm talking a lot. I'm tired. I've been drinking an energy drink this whole time, and now it's starting to kick in. And I'm like, anyway, I love you guys. Keep playing. Stay safe. Peace.